This is the Bush Whisperer coming at you from the beautiful Penguin Sanctuary, Boulders Beach Sanctuary, Simonstown, southern tip of Africa, Cape Town. Hope you're having a totally gorgeous day. I'm listening to the bird song. It's sweet. It's beautiful. The waves are crashing. I'm observing the sky. I watch light in the mornings. This discussion is about light. The way in which light cascades over the sea. Those of you that live near the sea, and you align yourself correctly with the rising sun, will notice that there's a shimmering over the light, of the light on the water. And when the patterns in the water are just right, the rhythm, there are lots of tiny little triangles forming, like tiny golden triangles on the face of the water. And as you watch these tiny golden triangles form, you'll notice that it starts to create a very familiar pattern, very often. So where did the adepts gain the images of the hexagram, the Merkaba, the body of light? I believe they found it by staring at the water, because that's where I see these things. So the element of water reflects light in the most wonderful way. And if one watches with the morning sun and one gets the position right, one will see these tiny triangles form what looks like the Sri Yantra. The Sri Yantra is an important glyph that is meditated upon in India, and it opens your awareness field. It expands the consciousness field into a profound state of being beyond the physical. Do like and share this video, get it around, help the algorithms to work for us, help my channel. I would say that light, if we want to consider light, is an expression of thought, and that thought is touched by entropy. We should always say that one aspect of thought, the extension of the thought field, is an entropic aspect of this field of reality, and that entropic field wraps back around itself, producing a toric field, like it wraps it back into itself. And this toric field is maintained by the expression of the expansion of the consciousness field, producing the thought to resist the entropic reaction, which is the other aspect of this consciousness field. And the cadence of reality is a result thereof. And so light comes from the singularity because of these two principles. So light is effectively the expression of consciousness. And so we speak about being enlightened. We speak about being the light of consciousness. We speak about the light within us. This isn't a metaphor. I've also done videos in my series 1, this is series 2 of course, series 1 of 108 lectures, where I discuss this in more detail. You should be watching all of these episodes sequentially, from the beginning to the end, one by one, if you want to get the best from it, if you want to make the most value of this teaching course. So to consider light in this way is to realize that light is a lot more than what we thought it was. We thought it was just something that we could see by. But it's actually the source of life, in a sense. Materializing. Good morning, brother. And so this consciousness field is expressing light into the universe. And the light comes to the sun, bringing the pranic flow. So the light is counterpart of the life force. For the life force is the expression of the consciousness field. And with the life force comes the light. And the light, the life force, is processed, the electromagnetic field, by leaves on plants in order to produce sugars. And the sugars are turned into energy to maintain metabolism. The metabolism is utilized to extract minerals from the soil. And through the metabolic reaction of this, obviously, oxygen is the important point of communicating all of this. And so CO2 is required, because something has to be the base building block, carbon. And so plants grow in this way, taking in the CO2, putting out the oxygen. An entropic form of life, you could consider, in a sense. Or plants have a balance. They do in the day, they're entropic. At night, they're anentropic. Human beings are the opposite. We turn off at night, and we turn on during the day. So I did a video on entropy, and this will give you an insight into the living principles of entropy, an expansion of these ideas. And the same with Series 1, Series 2 should also be watched from beginning to end. There's a reason why this works the way it does. To realize and understand that the nature of this consciousness field and the expression of this consciousness field is the fundamental structure of being in the way that we experience ourselves and know ourselves. And so we can find that life is the expression of light. And this is why soul, the sun, soul, the word the soul, is the same word from ancient Greece. And why the sun is considered to be the vehicle through which prana comes into this world by the Vedic tradition. And the ethers flow through the substance of light into this universe by the Western tradition. So light is the key. And light is an emanation of sound. For the sound vibrational field changes the cadence so that light can emerge from the vacuum, so to speak. So understand that this light is actually consciousness, that light is information. The information of light can become sugar. We need this sugar from plants. Sugar is nothing more than stored energy of light. Take that into your consideration for a moment. Let's see what that does with your understanding of light. And realize how consciousness and light are fundamentally two expressions of the same reality. This is why plants need light. This is why we need light. Vitamin E is fundamental. Vitamin D is fundamental. So you need your vitamin D, which comes from light, in order to extract your vitamin E. The masculine principle. The principle of awareness to expand. To be able to grow upwards, so to speak. And so we've got to change the way we think about light. We think of light as a living substance. The living substance of being. And when we can hold this perspective of light, we'll start to look at light in a different way. So when you observe light on the water, you observe these triangles, and observe the patterns of these triangles. What is being expressed here are the patterns of consciousness, the patterns of being through which this reality can manifest in the form of light. And because of light, the electricity that we experience as physicality is present. For light is the expression of electricity. Electricity is the expression of heat, the expression of the expansion field as it's being forced to contract. And so this yang-yin principle is always at work. Light polarizes everything. So the polarizing effects of the consciousness field is because of light. This will give you an insight into the macabric tradition and why the macabre is so important for developing one's energy body. And it's the same for the Anahata chakra if you're practicing Vedic school of practice. Why this hexagon is so important. How the 7 rays are bound and why the hexagon is the perfect shape that expresses the principles of the 7 rays. And realize that 6 is the mystic number of 7. And this is how life force moves through. Which is why whenever you're looking at a glyph of the sun, there'll be a hexagram. This is why Tiferet is related to the hexagram. This is why the cube is an inverted hexagram. If you consider the geometry of being, you will see how the cube and the hexagram fit and are expressions of each other in itself, the balance of being. Polarizing the inner pool and the outer pool, the contract between contract between the expanding life principle and the contracting principle that eats at life, shall we say, the entropic and the anentropic principles. So it's important for us to gain an understanding that these balances are because of the light principle producing this cadence of harmony, or the cadence through which harmony can be experienced. This is why light is considered to be the light of God in our spiritual traditions. So the shaman has an incredible appreciation for light. The shaman spends much time considering light. And so fire is very sacred to the shaman. The dance, the fire dance, is very, very important. This fire dance is about the light lighting up the dark, producing the balance and the cadence between the entropic and anentropic principles, so that the harmonies of life can become expressed through the sphere of time that we're experiencing reality in, as a moving field, as a journey, this journey through life. Do like and subscribe these videos. I'll share these videos because it'll basically help the channel. And if you're enjoying it, which I hope you are, keep enjoying it. There are going to be a lot more coming. If you want to support me, my Patreon's down in the bottom. There are various tiers. Also realize that what we've got in this world is light. And when we become heavy, this is something else to consider, power of words, we lose our lightness. And that light produces a lightness of heart. So always be light-hearted about life. If you can be light-hearted about life, the light of life will flow through you. This is not just a play on words, by the way. There's something profound being shared here. And to consider light as an expression of the consciousness field is to consider light as the substance of love manifesting reality. This is the Bush Whisperer coming at you from the most beautiful penguin sanctuary. Enjoy your day, your week, your month. Always seek the light. Always seek to find it within yourself. And if you want to find the light within yourself, go out in the morning and observe the light. Observe the way the light polarizing on the sky changes the color of this world. Observe the way the light dances upon water. If you can get the angles right, you'll see the sacred geometry of the universe revealed to your very eyes. You don't need books. You can find it all in nature. Nature is the perfect teacher, and she teaches through the language of light. Have an absolutely gorgeous day. Subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. Follow this series from the beginning to the end, and make hay while the sun shines. Om Shanti.